Cassie. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah,
So, how was your week? Did you make it to one of the grief counseling, or grief group sessions?
I did actually. I went a couple of days ago and I really liked it. It was great.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you felt going into it? And
I was so nervous. I was really nervous because I never done anything like that, and it's been a long time since I've been around a group of people. Really, I haven't thought about it, but I haven't really been around a group of people like that in a long time. And I almost didn't go because I was getting really anxious about going. But I know you told me it would be really good for me, and I know that you wanted me to do it, so I went. And everyone was so nice. They all welcomed me, and I talked a lot about my husband and everything I've been thinking and feeling, and I heard a lot of the other women's stories, and they were so similar to mine actually. So I don't know. I really liked it. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, but I'm glad that I went.
that's good. I'm so proud and happy for you that you went and that you got, you had a positive experience out of it. I know a lot of people, it takes a couple times, to go to groups or individual counseling at all, because it's a very intimidating thing. You're walking into a room with people that you don't know, but I'm really happy for you that you went and were able to get something out of it. So I know last week you said that you were thinking a lot about your husband before you came and saw me because of our conversations. So this week, how did those thoughts go this week?
They were better actually. I was obviously still thinking about him, especially after that group session. But it wasn't. I didn't feel sad. Sometimes I feel sad when I think about him, but I felt hopeful and like he'd be proud of me. Like I really think that he'd be happy that I went and I put myself out there and I talked to people and I don't know. Like I thought about him, but it wasn't. I wasn't like I missed him, of course, but it was not. It wasn't pain that I felt when I thought about him. It was more just, yeah, just happiness to know that, I had him and I'll always have him, but
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it especially specifically, but it was a good feeling. I
that's
enjoyed it.
good.
I liked it.
So there was kind of new hope that you can think about him, but you may not always have to be sad when you think about him.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's good. Did that kind of feel like you were kind of had power over your own life and your own thoughts?
Yeah, actually, I know we've been talking a lot about control, and I felt so empowered leaving that group. I really did. I felt like, I could do anything, and I'm in charge of my life, and I'm in charge of me, and yeah, like I'm a superwoman, I'm a good person, and
That's awesome.
yeah.
That makes me so happy to hear. So before, we talked about the core belief that you had, that your main one that we kind of kept coming back to was that control. And in the past, you kind of exemplified that in the form of stuff. You said, I will buy this or I won't throw this away. And I understand now, especially learning more about your husband and why you don't want to throw certain things away, which I completely understand. And I feel like that is a completely reasonable thing. But you also said that, you would buy the extra pair of shoes or this or that, whatever, and, you kind of came across because you could, and it made you feel that control. And in the past, when you had control over a situation, you said you felt happy. And you expressed to me that really since the death of your husband, you haven't, understandably so, felt that happiness as often, and having that control led to that. But I'm happy to hear that you found a new way to have control over your life, and it doesn't just have to be control, but you can just feel empowered, to be who you are. So we had this big scary homework assignment 2 weeks ago that was kind of a lot, but I was wondering if you would be willing to go through this with me and see if we could kind of work on this together.
Yeah.
So we talked about schemas. So a schema you want to change is that I'll ask you just to make sure. Do you still want to change that schema of control, which equals happiness, which would bring you back to 10 years ago with your husband? Is that still kind of the schema, or is there something different that you've kind of found in the last couple weeks that you want to change?
No, I think I pretty much want to stick with that. I think I'm working towards it. Definitely, I'm making progress towards it, but
Yeah.
I could keep going. I think it's a really important one for me in my life, and
Okay.
Yeah.
So that will be the schema we want to change. So there's evidence for why the schema is true, which will basically be, so why has this seemed true to you up until maybe this past week or so?
I mean, the whole thing with my daughter, I guess I would say, I feel like I've definitely let her take control over my life. Even though there's no reason for her to really be doing that because I'm the mom and she's the kid, and and yeah, I definitely feel like I need to. That's the main thing. It's mostly the relationship I have with her. I feel completely like I don't have control over anything with her. And I think if I can maybe get control of my life, then I can reflect that on my relationship with her.
Okay. So also maybe another one that we talked about, evidence for why the schema would be true in your life, is maybe when you're shopping. You said that when you're shopping, you feel like you have the control. Your daughter's not there. She can't tell you yes or no. And then that makes you happy. But are there other times when just because you have the control that it doesn't necessarily make you happy? That's a little harder, one, but are there times when you think that?
I'm not sure. I guess maybe with my stuff, because although like I've told you, I love everything I own and everything, but I do hate that. First of all, I hate how it is affecting me with my daughter, and secondly, I think I want to be able to let go of some things. Like part of me